Hi ladies and gentlemen, Beaky here with the UntitledGameShow.com, back once again with more of my reactions related to stuff related to the video game industry. And for you guys today, I'm going to talk about a little bit of Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty. Well, recently I was on PlayFire.com, it's a social network for video games, and I'm having some discussion about Destiny and some of the lag and cheaters and the invincibility glitches that people are encountering in the game like myself. Well, to the point, everybody after a while started to talk about Call of Duty. Because after a while, if you have a long enough thread on the internet, in comment sections, probably somebody's going to bring Call of Duty because it's one of the biggest franchises out there in gaming at the current moment. Well, eventually, some few folks started bringing up the fact that they actually was hoping that Call of Duty this year actually flopped. And they were hoping that the game was flop and be a bad game because they want to hurt Activision. And that kind of rubbed me in the wrong way a bit because I could definitely agree that if you don't like Activision and you don't like the products they put out or how they run their business as a video game company, you might not want to support their products by not buying them or voice your opinions on them. But willfully hoping that the game's gonna be bad for other players that pick up the game is not really the best way to look at it. That's the way I see it, at least. I think you should always look and hope that games are going to be good for the players that pick up the game and actually want to buy that game and have fun with the game, and that's just how I personally see it. So for everybody out there who's going to pick up Call of Duty Advanced Warfare this year, I actually hope you're going to have a good experience with the game. I hope the game's actually fun. I hope you guys have fun with the game for the experience you want to have. But I can understand at the same time, you may not like Activision and you don't want Activision to sell a lot of copies of the game so that their bottom line doesn't do that good and they may change the way they develop their game. Well, if you want that to happen, the best way to do it is just not buy their games and voice your opinions in a more constructive way, basically explaining what would you want Activision to do, or write it on Activision forums, tweet at Activision, let them know what you want to say, because whether you believe it or not, guys, many of these companies on Twitter, they really read most tweets they get just because of the fact it's a lot of free marketing information. There's a lot of spam, a lot of negativity, but at the same time, it's a lot of free information they're getting from customers directly, guys. If I tweet Activision, hey, Activision, I don't like this in the recent Call of Duty, they might actually not take it very seriously, but you guarantee somebody there in their marketing department and their PR department actually probably read that tweet. That's just how these companies need to do. A smart company probably wants to read everything that they receive, especially as a video game developer, because it's free market research, especially from a demographic that buys your games, people in their early 20s and their late teens. That's the people they're selling Call of Duty to. And if there's just a young mom probably tweeting about, or young dad probably tweeting about, Skylanders for their kids, they probably look at stuff like that as well. So constructive criticism is basically a lot better than just generically saying that you want the game to do horrible sales, be a bad game so people don't buy it anymore. Like for me personally, guys, I'm not here trying to say that I support Activision anyway, because I don't. I didn't buy Destiny. Destiny was given to me by a friend. I had no intention of buying Destiny, right? I would have never bought Destiny, guys. Never. I am somebody, if you go back to my old videos, I said I didn't like Destiny from the beta. From the beta, I knew I didn't like that game. From the beta, when I played it for that 2 days, I played the beta, and I played a lot of it, I said, if this is the whole game, there's not enough game. Like, if I said it back then during the beta, and, well, game comes out, and basically I was correct. There's not enough single-player content in the game, and they want you to replay a lot of that content, and then the multiplayer has a lot of glitches and problems there. Call of Duty and all those other games, I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare, but I haven't bought an Activision game since Blur in 2010. That was the last Activision game I personally purchased myself, and I love Blur. Blur was an absolutely excellent game. They shut down the studio, and after that, they didn't really put out anything else that I liked, and I was like, you know what? I really don't want to support Activision closing down these studios of great games, so I'm just not buying Activision games until I see them change their way around and make a game that I really want to support and I really want to buy, and personally, they haven't actually done that, so I haven't bought their games since 2010, so I'm not the guy going out there every year buying Activision games over and over and over. But at the same time, I can understand that they're doing something wrong, and I'm voicing my opinion to you guys right now. I'm telling you guys, yes, I realize that they do something wrong for me, and by me, I don't buy their games. But am I going to force you not to buy the game? No, because I actually do agree that if you like a game, buy a game. Doesn't matter what company that makes that game. Gamers should play stuff that's fun. So if the company's putting out a game you like, and if that game is Call of Duty, go ahead, pick that game up and have fun with the game. And that's just the way I see it personally. Now, does Activision got to prove themselves with this Call of Duty this year? Yes, they do. Them and specifically Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed. I think those two games this year are pretty much one of the critical moments for these two companies. Ubisoft and Activision need Call of Duty and Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed franchise this year to really show that this is this franchise to go into the next generation with. Because currently, I don't think they are the franchise that's going to make the next generation definitive big games anymore. Because Assassin's Creed is turning to the worst in a way, and Call of Duty is starting to slip off from what I've heard from gamers who play Call of Duty every year. This is just from my friends who I talk to personally, guys. I'm not talking about the general internet population. I have friends who bought every single Call of Duty game, every single Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the first Assassin's Creed game, I didn't finish. I finished every single other one. I still have not finished Black Flag. Call of Duty Ghosts. I have friends who buy every single Call of Duty game before that one, didn't pick up Ghosts, and the ones that did pick up Ghosts weren't really big fans of Ghosts. So that's my kind of point right there, guys. This year needs to be proved from both those companies, but at the same time, I want them to prove themselves as good games. I still do not want Activision's Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed from Ubisoft to be bad games. I would love for those games to be 9 out of 9s. No, 9 out of 9s, 9 out of 10s. And that would just make the video game industry be great because that's in November. That's 2 9.0 games. That would be excellent news. Doesn't matter what company makes it. If the game is actually good, that's an excellent thing. I would love for Destiny to be a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10 game. I would love for Hyrule Warriors to be a 9 game. I would love for the new Pokemon to be a 9 game. And I would love for every single month gamers could go to the store, go to the online shop and be like, hey, there's just such good games to play. And I think that's the way we should look at gamers. We should hope these companies are going to do their best and try to support the developers that are putting out good games. And the ones that are putting out bad games, let them know on Twitter, let them know on their forums, and let them know that they're doing something wrong and you want to see a change. If you really have a big problem with that Ubisoft's 900p 60-30 frames per second, well, good. People have been talking about it on Twitter and letting them know, and that's the right way to do about it, guys. But willfully hoping that the whole entire game is bad for those who pick it up, not the right way to look at it. It's probably still going to be a decent game, even with the resolution problems. Alright, guys, just my quick opinion there. Beaky here with TheUntalkGames.com. I'll be back with more of these in my regular format soon. Sorry, this was filmed with my cell phone, so if it's a little shaky, sorry about that, guys. I'll be back with my normal setup real soon. Peace out, guys.